A battle is brewing over signatures on Florida's abortion ballot petition. While Florida's Republican leadership questions some of the signatures' validity.
Anyone that is trying to commit fraud in this process absolutely should be held accountable.
Abortion rights advocates are calling the efforts voter intimidation.
The government is using the hands of power to intimidate voters by knocking on people's doors at all hours of the day and night to verify their signatures.
If 60% of Florida voters vote yes on Amendment 4 in November, Florida's current law banning most abortions after 6 weeks would change to the point of viability, roughly 24 weeks. The petition to get Amendment 4 on the ballot to begin with had nearly 1 million signatures verified by the Florida Division of Elections in January. But 7 months later in July, Brad McVeigh with the Florida Department of State sent this letter, along with suspected fraudulent petitions to Florida's law enforcement, saying some of the above-named circulators also signed petitions on behalf of individuals who were deceased at the time the petition was allegedly signed. Now, some of those who really did sign are finding police at their door. NBC News spoke with Fort Myers resident Isaac Menashe, who told us a detective showed up at his home. Writing in part in a post, the experience left me shaken. What troubled me was he had a folder on me containing my personal information, about 10 pages. Troubling that so much resources were devoted to this. His local supervisor of elections told our NBC affiliate in Fort Myers he was never in the know.
I had no idea that there was any type of investigation.
The Office of Election Crimes and Security confirms 4 people in the state have been arrested and charged with petition fraud in connection with the abortion ballot, which Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says is the only purpose of the investigation.
Anyone who submitted a petition accurately that's a valid voter is totally within their rights to do it. What they're investigating is fraudulent petitions.
And the petition investigation is not the only form of state resources currently facing criticism around the issue of abortion. Florida's healthcare administration has been publishing videos like this one.
A woman can go to jail for having an abortion,
which Amendment 4 advocates like Florida's Democratic Party chair are calling taxpayer-funded anti-abortion propaganda.
The state government is using every tactic in order to intimidate voters, whether it was the petition gatherers, petition signatures, or now misinformation, propaganda, and illegal usage of state resources and state taxes to take that amendment down.
DeSantis says the state agency PSAs are providing, quote, accurate information. Now, Florida Representatives Maxwell Frost and Debbie Wasserman Schultz have asked the Department of Justice in a letter to investigate, quote, the Florida government's recent abuses related to Amendment 4, with just weeks to go until voters head to the polls.
Marissa Parra is joining us now live from Miami. Listen, we called it a high-profile ballot initiative, Marissa, because it is, as you know, it sits at the center of one of the most important issues, one of the most talked about issues of this election nationally, and then, of course, in the state of Florida, so critical here. Talk to us about the dynamics here. Talk to us about those 4 people arrested in Florida and what it means for them.
Well, we are learning more details about those 4 people, including the most recent arrest, a 46-year-old woman. She was charged with a total of 10 felony counts, Hallie. According to the Florida Department of State website, she had tried to submit over 300 invalid petitions across different voting districts. There was another person who was charged with 9 felony counts for trying, in part, to use the identity of someone who isn't even alive. So these are 4 people, Hallie, who have been arrested and charged in connection with this sort of petition fraud. But context is important here. There are still over 1 million signatures verified by the Florida Division of Elections in January. Allie?
Marissa Parra live for us there in Florida tonight. Marissa, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.